Good afternoon and welcome to Darling Street Oval for our NPL Women's Match of the Round. I'm Chris McPherson. Alongside me this afternoon is Newcastle Jets and NPLW veteran Cass Davis. A bit of a drive-by Cass, veteran. Interesting one this afternoon. 4th versus 2nd. Newcastle Olympic hosting Charlestown Azzurri in a clash that can certainly go a little way to shaping and finalising the top 4.
Yeah, firstly, hello Chris. Thanks for bringing me out on another cold afternoon. And yeah, going to be a good match today. I think both teams obviously fighting to prove that they deserve to be in this top 4, and Charlestown obviously fighting for that minor premiership. And yeah, I just think it's going to be a really good physical game.
It's certainly going to be interesting to see. It certainly would feel like it's been a mid-season sabbatical for Newcastle Olympic. They're back here at Darling Street and back in business. Coach Craig Atkins has said his side is chomping at the bit after the bye and the State Cup break, and with finals looming, it is go time for Olympic. They are eyeing off a perfect 9 points from their last 3 matches, and today is the first big step. They were solid last time out, a tidy 2-0 win over Adamstown, and Atkins has praised the defensive compactness and the clinical finish. It was a kind of performance that builds confidence, but they'll need to go up another gear this afternoon, up against Azzurri. Azzurri, they've had Olympics number in 2025. 4 meetings and 4 wins across all grades, and they're eyeing off the minor premiership, as you said, Cass. Heath White's side are a little banged up. There's a few late season injuries, but they've got that winning rhythm, and when you have a look at the depth of their squad, it's hard to back against them. Yeah,
it is. I think also with the quality of players that they have, they've shown that they're one of the top teams in this league, and yeah, they've got players like Melina Ayres that you can't give time and can obviously score from anywhere. So Olympic are going to have to be on their game today and shutting those type of players down.
They certainly are. Let's have a look at how the two teams line up. Starting with the visitors, Charlestown Azzurri. In goals will be number 16, Denny Bartels. Number 3 is Chloe Martin. Number 6, Alyssa Togo Paragilli. Number 7, Gemma Simon. Number 8, Brianna Williams. Number 10, Melina Ayres. Number 11, Chloe Catley. Number 17, their captain, Callista Hunter. Number 19, Sarah Knowles. Number 28, Chelsea Lucas. And number 30, Kate Spranger. While for Olympic, the home side in goals will be number 41, Janali Haynes. Number 3, Gemma House, their captain. Number 4, Danielle Nicol. Number 5, Georgia Hogg. 6, Laura Hall. 7, Elodie Dagg. 8, Jess Evans. 9, Kira Bainsfair. 13, Maddie Howard. 16, Sarah King. And number 22, Emily Hingston. You talked about Melina Ayres before, and obviously they've got a talented front third, Charlestown. And when you can bring someone like Maddie Gallegos, who we understand has had some injury, but being able to have her coming off the bench is going to be some nice impact for Heath White to draw on should he need it.
Yeah, Maddie's normally a regular starter, and as you say, maybe carrying a little bit of an injury, so probably smart from Charlestown to keep her on the bench and only use her if you need to. But again, she comes on, you know, she's going to score goals and get in people's faces. She's a very physical player, and it goes at 100% every time she's on the field.
Well, we see Callista Hunter wearing the armband today. Obviously, Jada Fraser, that very tough to watch knee injury in the State Cup final only a matter of weeks ago, and it's been a bit of a tough assignment being a captain for Charlestown this year. We've seen Kirsten Pearce out now, Fraser as well. You know, it is obviously the next player up, but considering how many players they've got out with some of those names we just mentioned, they're still looking very good, Azzurri.
Yeah, they are, and I think for Jada as well, obviously very disappointing for her to miss out on the rest of the season. She's had a great year, and even myself playing up against her, she's always tough to play against, very physical and very smart on the ball as well. So yeah, hope her recovery goes well, and hopefully she's back next season. So yeah, a big loss for them in the midfield. They're going to have to make sure that they try and plug that with other players. But as you said, they've got depth, and it's great to have depth in this league, because if you get any injuries and serious injuries like this, you always need someone to come in and fill that spot.
You certainly do. On the other side of the ball, Craig Atkins has talked about it. They're eyeing 9 points from their last 3 games, which you might have some questions about, considering you played them in the last round. But what's the key to them getting 3 points here today against Azzurri if they are to upset the predicted order?
Yeah, I think last time I commentated and watched Olympic, they just lacked going forward. They lacked getting numbers forward and had so many players just behind the ball. I think they need to just take a bit of a punt, throw some numbers forward and see if they can hurt Charlestown's defence. and they've obviously got to match Charlestown's physicality and yeah, just be up for it.
Yeah, I think when we have a look at the quality of players in that front third, the likes of House and Howard and co, they've got the ability to get there, but as you say, it's about getting those numbers forward and getting the ball flowing. So we'll see what they can do across the 90 here. It's a lot easier said than done, especially when you're coming up against, as you said, the physicality of this Azzurri backline. But here's an opportunity early for them. They chip it forward. Chance for Melody Dag, but just skews it off the outside of the boot.
Elodie would normally put them away. The quality she's got with chances like that probably just come a bit early for her in the game. She's probably not quite ready, but good chance for Olympic.
Certainly was a good early chance. And as you say, I just touched on the quality they've got up, in that front third, and even some of those attacking midfielders that'll push forward with the likes of Dag. Charlestown will have to be careful not to nap on them here, and because again, as you say, players like Elodie Dag, Gemma House won't miss too many of those sorts of opportunities.
Yeah, no, they won't, and Gemma's starting to find her form again. I feel like she had a bit of a dry spell with goals, and she scored some nice goals lately, and I think having her back up top in that central area, she's very lethal with her ability to make little runs in behind the defence, so they've got to make sure they use Gemma's speed and ability to get in behind that back line.
A bit of a miscommunication mix up there. Laura Hall turns it over. Gemma Simon plays it wide. That side's just looking a little heavy with some touches early. Now Azzurri trying to work it forward. Just tuning in. We've got Azzurri left to right of your screen in the, I suppose you call that aqua, teal. I'm not great with the colour palette. I'm like an old school computer. I've got about eight colours I recognise.
Yeah, you could go for aqua or teal, but either way, it's a nice kit.
We'll go with the clearly royal blue is Olympic. That makes it nice and easy to identify which one is which. Olympic in their traditional blue. Going from right to left of your screen as Janelle Haynes comes out and picks that one up. Shadows creeping over Darling Street Oval early here. More than likely finish this one under lights, and it'd be cool out there. Tell you what, if I was out there at the moment, I think I'd be trying to keep the ball in play in the sun patches, because it's certainly fresh in the stands. You'd be mistaken seeing some of the people sitting around us thinking that we were somewhere almost arced. You see a collision here and almost a chance, but it's cleared away by Chloe Martin. Maddie Howard just pushing forward, and like a rugby league hit up with Danny Bartels in the end as they both had eyes for the ball. Throw-in comes. House the turn, can't control it. But it does come off the Azzurri player last, and we'll have the first corner of the game. It'll be Maddie Howard to take it for Olympic. Neither side exactly replete with towering timber at the moment. Maddie Gallegos is normally one you look to on these set pieces if you're Azzurri, but obviously on the bench. So we'll see what they can come up with here. Olympic comes forward, a little bit of confusion, headed away by the captain though in Callista Hunter. Another corner will come. Delivery on that first corner, Cass. Not far away from where you want it.
Yeah, it's very good delivery. We know Maddie Howard can put those balls straight into the right area, and she's got a great left foot, so it's good to see her back in first grade after that injury she had, and yeah, starting the game off with good delivery.
It's under this one. Heading back, Hall off the back of the head, almost poked home. Well defended at the back post. Not completely dealt with. They try to thread it in again. Hingston chips it forward, and a little bit of a spill there. Bartels recovers well. And Kira Bainsfair got very excited there for a moment. I think she thought she was throwing a loose ball. Olympic certainly mixing it with Azzurri early here at Darling Street. They're full of confidence. Azzurri just looking a little disjointed compared to their normal efficiency. Bartels fires this out, finds Gemma Simon. Under pressure from Dag. That'll be a good battle to watch as this develops today, I would have thought. Two number sevens.
Yeah, yes. Good to see Gemma Simon backing up after a rugby league game. Maybe yesterday she probably played, so she'll be sore today. And, yeah, probably something that Olympic can take advantage of. You've got to be pretty fit. And we know Jem, old girl, she would have been icing up last night knowing that she had to play today. So, yeah, it's going to be tough for her.
Certainly would have. I'm hearing lots of positive reports in regards to Gemma Simon and her late career switch to rugby league. But now Azzurri taking the chance to go on the attack. Sarah Knowles out wide on the left, pulls it back. Looking for support, and there's Simon now. Prods it forward into the box. All Evans clears it down. Not completely cleared away now. Olympic get the chance to break. You talk about people backing up as well. Melina Ayres is another one. She's been moonlighting with a bit of AFL, I think. So, I don't know. One game of sport. Just thinking about playing one game of sport makes me ache at this point in my life. So I don't know about playing two on a weekend.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it. I've been getting into Bree Trafford as well from our team because she's been playing AFL. She played a full game of AFL yesterday and then played a full game of our game in the one day.
I feel like it might be easier in the one day because you're not quite stiffened up. You know how you get stiff the next morning. There's a few of them getting around. I know, like Brooke Summers, she plays ladies league tag, I think, for Thornton Beresfield. You know, there's a few people getting around. Not that you can throw too many stones, because I'm pretty sure we had a conversation earlier this year, and you were complaining about the 30-day stand down that you've got between the Jets and New Lambton. So if you had your way, you'd be playing soccer 52 weekends of the year.
Yeah, I probably would. But when they're playing like really contact sports, and then backing up for, I guess, another contact sport, it's going to be tough on your body.
I was going to say, especially the way a couple of these people like Gemma play. Football is very much a contact sport.
That's right. But no, it's good. It's a bit of a joke now with Bree, because I say to her, if you're not running, then I'm going to yell at you to run. And then she said, well, I just pictured you yelling at me, and I made sure I ran.
Yeah, well, there we go. It works. Motivation in all different sorts. Gemma House here into the box now. A bit of friendly fire there for Azzurri. Not quite clear. Chipped onto the crossbar. Danny Bartels lost sight of that, I think, in the sun. And then Emily Hingston was millimetres away from opening the scoring. Danny Bartels looked very surprised then when she heard the crossbar rattle.
Yeah, she did. It just started dropping and nearly went in. Very, very close. Good chance.
It could be one of those ones. I'm not sure that's quite what Emily Hingston was actually going for, but had it gone in, she would have certainly claimed it.
She would have with her first start as well, so would have been a good way to start your first grade debut, starting debut.
Certainly would. Might have been hard to pry her back out of the starting 11 for the rest of the season. Melina Ayres gets around House, the touch a little heavy, driven forward. Opportunity here for Howard, but Bartel's out to it. Hands outstretched and takes it. Hunter drives it forward, looking for Melina Ayres, but Danielle Nickel will track back. A bit of a delay now. Chloe Martin retrieves it for the throw-in. We haven't spent a lot of time in the attacking half in the opening exchanges here. Hall just prods that across the line off her shin, and it'll be another throw in for Azzurri. Throw into the box, opportunity. Nice little touch to the inside from Ayres. Denali Haynes out to it. Picks it up with both hands before Ayres can pounce. Paragillion heads it backwards. Well, spill here. Bainsfair now racing away. Looking for a teammate. I have a sneaky suspicion that Maddie Howard might have been a good stride offside, though.
Yeah, she did so well to win the ball there, and you could tell she was off balance as she kicked it. So just need to be a bit more composed and try and combine with someone.
Certainly getting some opportunity in the attacking third early here, Olympic. And you feel that piece that you touched on. I asked you the question, that kickoff cast, that connection between their midfield and their forward third just looks a lot cleaner and a lot better in terms of their delivery today already.
Yeah, it does. I think when you look at bringing Maddie Howard back into the starting lineup, it already adds that connection and someone that can beat people 1v1, which automatically makes the defender think about where they're positioning themselves, which might open up some more space for someone else. So, yeah, you can definitely see an improvement with Olympics connection.
Continuing with this approach that they've had throughout the season where Elodie Dagg does slot in there and almost becomes a front four at times for them, which really forces some decision-making for the defenders as well as the, are you going to allow some space for the likes of a Gemma House or a Kira Bainsfair out wide, and they'll hold their width Olympic in that attacking third.
Yeah, that's right. It's always hard as a defender when you've got players bombing on and your decision of do I just take the risk and mark 4v4 or do I bring a midfielder back to help? If you're good enough with the ball, then you can get the reward the other way because you've obviously then got more numbers than them. So it's a funny number game, football is.
It's all very cerebral and mental, despite the fact that we talk about it being physical, right? There's a lot of thought that goes into this and the chess pieces moves of it all.
Yeah, there is, and it's really hard to play it and think about that at the same time so quickly.
I was going to say, you're running around out there, you're short of breath, your heart rate's probably at about 140 to 160 most of the time, and then you're trying to make split-second decisions and get them right more often than not.
Yes, it's hard. It's always the challenge, and I think that's why the best players in the world are the ones that have the whole package, the intelligence, the football tactics, and the physical attributes.
It was interesting. I was at one of the Australia Cup round of 32 games up in Queensland during the week and having a chat to one of the Wanderers stars in Lawrence Thomas, and we're talking about like their pre-season prep, and he was talking about the fact that they've been doing some decision-making stuff where essentially it's efforts to, we'll just wait for this to play out as Gemma Simon has a chance here at the top of the 18-yard box. Yeah, he's talking about they're basically doing repeat efforts on rowers and then having to make decision-making around, they get shown basically a scenario and what would you do here. It's something different I hadn't seen or heard of in football in terms of being a piece, but he said it was just about getting them to, a bit like you do muscle memory, getting to the point where you consistently are making higher percentage decisions when your heart rate is at that elevated rate. As Ayres gets a chance here, strikes for the left post and just pushes it wide. Not far away from opening the scoring, Melina Ayres. Give her a chance open at the top of the 18-yard box and she'll more often than not find the target.
Yeah, that was good there by Mel. Obviously cut back onto her right foot and fooled the defender and had a nice free shot there. She'll be disappointed with that one. But a good chance for Charlestown.
Well, that's the first real chance that Azzurri have created. But then that sort of side that they can almost be on the back foot for a long period of time, and then just when they do get a chance, they are so good at taking those opportunities, especially with the likes of Melina, with her touch up front, Chelsea Lucas as well. Now, Dagg plays it across field. Push forward for Bainsfair, she comes back infield. Now just chips it. I was going to say, well, it was more than a chip, it was almost an up and under. Ayres, Bainsfair here, little touch pass, too heavy for any runners to get through, and Bartels comes and scoops it off her toes. Nickel holds it forward, Hall over the ball. Plays it wide, nice ball out in front. Sarah King pushing down the right. Does well to keep it in field. Spranger will just prod it over the line just shy of the corner flag for a throw in deep in attacking territory for Olympic. Looking for options, not a lot presenting. Hingston comes short. Tries to pop it over the back looking for Dagg, but underthrows it. Pushed into the 18-yard box. It's just going to trickle away for a goal kick. Charlestown doing well getting those numbers back there and just clogging up the avenues to goal. I touched on it before, Cass. Obviously Newcastle Olympic will be the last regular season opponent for your side, New Lambton. And we were talking off air before, it's interesting the way it's playing out, because the way the ladder sits at the moment, it is going to be Charlestown and Maitland finishing 1 and 2 in some arrangement. They'll play each other in the final round, which means that they'll then play each other in the first of the semi-finals. And similarly for yourselves in Olympic, you will finish 3rd and 4th. And while that's still potentially, you know, the order can change around, it could be that you get to that game where the order's set, and then you'll play them in the first week of finals as well, in elimination final.
Yeah, it's weird how it's kind of ended up like that, but I think, yeah, it's going to be an interesting 2 weeks, and thinking about how you actually prepare for that regular game, whether it determines your 3rd or 4th place, or whether it's already set before, and then how you go about it, to then how you go about the semi. So, yeah, some lots of thinking to do about how you prepare, and obviously the same for Maitland and Charlestown, whether that game is the minor premiership game to then lead into a grand final spot to win the next semi. So, yeah, big 2 weeks for all 4 teams. And interesting, because I think it's quite weird playing the same team twice in a regular game and a semi. Normally it's a home and away semi format. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one.
Well, there's all those permutations of playing it too, right? Like, you know, the game might not mean anything. So the team that loses for you guys in that last round, well, when I say it won't mean anything in terms of standings, it might not mean anything. But there's still going to be, whoever wins that game, if someone wins it, is certainly going to, you know, be talking that that's the momentum that you need going to finals. The team that, you know, comes off second best will probably say, well, it's a chance for redemption. There's lots of great storylines that will come out of the way this draw's fallen. We see just a bit of a clumsy challenge there, and Laura Hall will get a free kick, but it certainly shapes well. And then the other game you got in the last round is Adamstown Lake Macquarie, which those two teams currently are level on points. So whilst they can't make finals, there might be a nice little bit of bragging rights for who can claim 5th place coming into the last round. Yeah, obviously depending, Adamstown have got Charlestown next week and Lake Macquarie the bye, so you would expect the way that shapes it, they will sort of end up in that same sort of spot in terms of being on level points heading into the last round. So whilst finals are out of reach for them, a nice little bit of bragging rights for them.
Yeah, for sure. Those teams are going to want to finish as high as they can. And it's going to make the last round interesting for everyone. You're going to have good stuff to talk about, Chris, because you're going to have 2 games of obviously the same teams, and then you'll have the battle of Adamstown and Lake Macquarie. So a good day for you.
Yeah, it will be very good. Looking forward to it. They're all going to be concurrent as well, which is always the great thing of the last round. So they'll all kick off Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. on the 17th of August. But as we said, we've got next round as well, which is there's a weekend off for the women's NPL, the washout round. You ladies have been very, very well drilled, very well organised in catching up all your games before this. So it means you get a nice little rest weekend before you hit the accelerator for the last 2.
Yeah, not ideal, I guess. But unfortunately, that's just the way it is, and you have to put those washout weekends in place. We've seen it happen before previously, where you're trying to make up all your games heading into finals, and the comp has to get extended, and then you look at A-League and now pushing into A-League for those players that are in it. So it's something that you have to do, and obviously with one less team now, we have buyers, so you feel like you get your groove, and then you got another week off, and it's hard to motivate yourself to train and turn up at those cold nights for training when you've got nothing on the weekend. But you're looking forward to finals now for those teams, and that's no more motivation really.
Yeah, well, it's hard for, you look at a side like Maitland or a side like Lake Macquarie that have got the bye either side of the weekend off, and it's, basically ends up being 3 weeks between games with the gap, but it is what it is, and you've got to kind of deal with that. I guess Maitland are one of the fortunate sides in that they're playing 2 other finals contenders in their final 2 games, because they'll play Olympic next week, and then they'll come up against Charlestown, as we said, in that last round at home, which is going to be the match of the round next week. Sorry, not next week, the 9th of August. It's your game, New Lambton and Broadmeadow, that we'll get to call, so the bright lights down there at Alder Park.
Yeah,
on a Saturday afternoon.
Can see.
I think it's an afternoon game. They've played a couple of night games there. There's certainly some more challenging situations. A couple of grounds where the lights have been a bit testing in the men's competition recently. But, you speak of that too, and if you don't have those washout rounds, you look at a team like Cooks Hill, who won the State Cup yesterday. I think they've got something like, especially with the round of 16 now, if they make finals, they'll be playing with the first week of finals. I think it's 8 games in 3.5 weeks, including the first week of finals, round of 16. They've just had the State Cup. they've got catch-up games every Wednesday night at the moment. So, I mean, yesterday's game had to double up as a round 14 catch-up game just so they could still get through all of them and not have to play 3 games in 6 days at some point.
That's a lot. But to be honest, as a player, you'd rather play games than train. So there's good things and bad things to it. Obviously, if you get an injury, then you're in trouble. And if you've got a thin squad, you're in trouble. But if you've got some depth, then yeah, you don't have to worry about training. Just keep on playing. So there's definitely pros and cons. But yeah, that's going to be a tough run for Cooks Hill, given all those games they've got, and obviously they're pushing for finals. So
and they've got to keep winning. They've got obviously the round of 16, only the third Northern New South Wales team to make the round of 16. It could be the first to make the round of, the quarterfinals yet. We'll wait and see what comes of that. Wait and see. Got a couple of games. I think there's a game today, and then some games Tuesday and Wednesday to determine the finals. As Melina Ayres takes a shot, little spill from Janali Haynes, but taken well. And obviously the Jets in action on Wednesday night up against Adelaide. Mark Milligan against his former club, which is a nice little bit of spice as well. But yeah, as you say, it'll be busy for Cooks Hill, but especially with their young squad, I think there's probably a few players who are at the other end of the spectrum in terms of age that you might talk to, and they might not be as keen about playing, 3 games in 7 days and stuff. But yeah, I think with how young that Cooks Hill squad is and with a bit of momentum, they'd be keen to just keep playing football at the moment.
Yeah, the young ones are always keen to keep on playing. They don't get sore, so they've got no excuse. Whereas the oldies,
I've just put 2 and 2 together, and you're keen to play football, so that means that you're still a young one.
I'd like to think so.
Just keep, what do I say? You're only as old as you act, so that's the key piece.
Yeah, that's right.
Based on that, my wife would tell everyone that I'm about 17. Yeah, it's great to see. Lots of football happening, that's for sure. And then, of course, we talked about this the other week, Cass, the Newcastle Jets versus the Northern New South Wales Select once the finals get done, which will be great to see as well as Kira Bainsfair going forward. But I was about to say, I think the flag's going to go up. She's just jumped the gun a little there.
Yeah, I'm not sure when that squad's actually getting announced. Have you heard anything?
I haven't. I think they're pretty close to announcing. It's not far away from the conversations that I've been part of in recent weeks. But yeah, there's a bit happening. I know that they're quite close. I think it's this week coming that they'll announce any of the applications after the unbundling. As the ball goes across the sideline here, after the unbundling of the senior and junior for the NPL for the women's. So the applications, I think there'll be. I wouldn't expect we'll see too many more for the seniors. I think we'll see some more clubs maybe throwing their hat in the ring for the. I always get the abbreviations wrong here. Is it PYL?
Correct.
There
yes. Good work, Chris.
So that'll be exciting to see some clubs looking to hopefully build pathways that will eventually see them join the NPL in later years, but building their elite junior girls pathways. So I think that's the next thing that we'll see probably announced, and then those squads might not be far away. There's lots of exciting things coming out as Chelsea Lucas pushes forward there. Lots of exciting things coming out of Northern New South Wales football at the moment.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to see that there's going to be a few changes and get some more teams in these competitions and, improve the quality of the comp.
More junior pathways, more young girls and boys playing at the elite levels, but most notably with this piece, the girls. All those girls coming through that, when you are no longer one of the young ones that you'll be playing against still, Cass.
Yeah, then they'll be running rings around me because I won't be able to move.
We're talking about it here before, watching the reserve grade, and Joel Griffith's daughter's out there, and we're talking about how that made you feel in terms of age.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. That said that was his daughter. Didn't realise that she'd grown up that much.
Yeah, it's great to see though some of these second generation and the daughters of some of the guys, and it won't be too far away. We'll start to see second generation, maybe A-League women's players as well, or. Yeah. There might already be, I don't know, you can probably correct me on this, second generation, it wasn't NPL when it first started, but, second generation, the equivalent of the NPL here, that must be close too. There'll be a few of the players that, when you were a youngster making your debut, that they'd probably have daughters running around at this stage, getting close to.
Yeah, maybe not quite yet, not that I know of anyway.
Someone will correct us. You know who'd know these stats is Renee Valentine.
Well, where's Renee Luminita?
We did have a chuckle the other week actually at the Super League. I was talking to Renee and happened to be chatting to one of the coaches, and we'll come back to that in a moment. Kira Bainsfair making a break here. Gemma House on the ball, gets a little clip from her opposite number, and that'll be a free kick. Yeah, we were chatting. Renee's Cooks Hill side were playing against Urunga in one of their games, and I was chatting to one of the NPL women's coaches, and I'd sort of pointed out one of the young girls who was playing for Urunga who I'd seen in the Regional Super League, and she was number 20. He said, "Oh, which number 20 are you talking about?" And I said, "I don't think you get much signing distance out of the other one if you sign her, because the other one was Renee." Which was nice, though, that the coach was eyeing off all of the talent. That wasn't specific to age, so Renee did have a good chuckle when I told her that.
Yeah,
She didn't think she had too many minutes in her as she played. She wasn't ruling out playing NPL, but just not too many minutes. So.
No, Renee goes all right. I've seen her play. She's
well and truly holding her own against some players that were, trying to give her the run around. Some very, sort of 17, 18-year-olds. She absolutely lives and breathes football. All her work at Newcastle Herald. She's often on the commentary here. And then playing still as well.
I don't know how she fits it all in. Plus kids.
Three kids.
Yeah.
And still, I think hubby's still running around playing cricket as well. So
active family.
A very active family. You love to see it. Olympic with another throw here. Work it across field. Hopeful cross just prodded towards the shadows. Gemma House and Chelsea Lucas coming together. A little bit of push and shove. No love lost there, and a shot taken. Referee just says, "Girls will have no more of that."
Don't know what happened there. It kind of came out of nowhere.
I think they just sort of collided, and then both of them thought the other one was at fault, so there was a bit of a jersey grab, and like Gemma pushed, and Chelsea being a bit taller might have pushed and got her a little higher than Gemma might have liked. Gemma looks like she's still trying to pick something out of her eye. Hopefully nothing too untoward there. Shannon's almost all the way across Darling Street now as Bartels goes long. Finds the head of Elodie Dag. Pushes across the sideline on the eastern side of Darling Street Oval for a throw for Azzurri. Overthrown, but header can't be controlled by Sarah King, so it'll be another throw in. Charlestown, this time the attacking side of halfway. And Sarah King just gets forward, this time off the shoulder. Charlestown inch closer. Spranger with the throw now. Tries to go longer into the box for for Ayres. Wrong end of the pitch there. Dag pushes it forward. Bainsfair sends it all the way back to the defence. Clearance doesn't work out for them. Hunter now working it around. Back to Togo Paragilli. Pokes it out off the left boot wide for Spranger. Williams now can't control. Ball's turned over. Go back to their defence. Georgia Hogg. Now threaded through, looking for Bainsfair, but Lister Hunter read it well. Trying to pick out Lucas, and in the end, Evans just clubs it forward over halfway. Martin down the right sideline, chipping it infield. I think it was intended for Lucas, but overhit, and Haynes comes out to take it.
It's a good interception by Callista there. It looks like a great ball from Elodie, and Callista just got herself in the right spot and was able to stop the attack.
Some pushed out in front by Howard. Togo Paragilli, she's done all season. Nice and composed, and just sees it over the sideline. It certainly looked like if Hunter didn't execute that, the Bainsfair was in behind. It's interesting, we commented on this the other week when we called Olympic, but their front three really just like to rotate. We've got House now out on the left, Bainsfair back in the middle. Howard was in the middle earlier. Now she's on the right on the ball, up against Gemma Simon. Plays the ball in, but again, Togo Paragilli comes forward and clears it away, finds Ayres. Spranger pushes it forward. I think there's going to be a little much even for Melina Ayres racing down there. Evans will clean up and go back to Haynes, who clears it over the sideline. Olympic certainly living up to Craig Atkins' pre-game statement that they were going to be up for the challenge here. They're well and truly mixing it with Azzurri. Dag pushes that one across the sideline in a battle with Simon. It'll be another throw for Spranger. certainly make a case sort of midway through this first half. This one's lofted towards the goals, but off target. That Olympic have actually had the better of the running, Cass.
Yeah, I think early on, definitely, they look threatening in their attack. I think Charlestown have kind of settled into the game a little bit more now, and we saw Melina Ayres have a couple of chances. Other than Melina, I don't really think you've seen any of their other players get themselves into a good scoring position. I feel like the game's starting to even out a little bit more now, but as you can see here, Olympic are pushing numbers forward, and they seem to be careful of Melina.
They certainly are. They've got that sweeper play as they like to do. Just coming through there. I thought Melina might have got a break on, but was well cleaned up in the end by Hogg, and now they go the other way. Nice chip ball out in front of Howard. He's going to cut back inside Togo Paragili, just pokes the toe in there. And that's something that's undone them a couple of times. They're just a little rush of blood when they've looked for that last pass, as Bainsfair did there, and it goes astray. That one out off King. And they're certainly pushing forward well and pressing well when they do turn over the ball. Looking for the long throw. Headed backwards. Cleared long now by Evans, and again it goes over the sideline. Kate Springer with another throw in. She has plenty of them in this first half. Just patrolling that eastern touchline in the sun. Bartel sends it straight back there. King comes racing forward, pulls it out to Bainsfair now. Dag there on the ball, chips it down the line. King racing away, Togo Paragili trying to close the space. King chips it into the box. Opportunity on the volley, just to right. Right idea, execution not far away from Maddie Howard. Couple of the Charlestown defenders there, Cass, just ball watching as that lofted in towards the boot, and Howard took it on the volley.
Yeah, you can kind of see in Olympics attack when they're getting the ball in to the midfielders, they're playing a first-time ball in behind the Charlestown's defence, and they're getting themselves a little bit flat-footed, not able to turn and actually drop off enough to get that ball first. And it looks like, yeah, Olympic are starting to get in behind and getting those numbers forward.
Certainly are, they? Making this defensive line of Azzurri work overtime. Martin comes back for the throw. Goes long, again finds an Olympic head. The ball returns to Martin. Tries to chip it forward for Ayres, misdirected a little. Now it comes to House, a heavy touch. The ball goes just over the sideline. Waiting for the second ball to clear off the field. Martin with a throw. Finds the back of Chelsea Lucas's head. Not by design. Simon lofts it forward, looking for Ayres. She's racing forward. She'll pick it up just inside the byline, crosses it in, but doesn't manage to find a runner. Actually sprays it wide of the goals.
Seems like Gemma House has kept her left wing position for a while now, and the other two have swapped back out, but Gemma seems to be staying out on the left. I'm not sure on the reason why they keep swapping them around. I feel like it'd be hard as a player sometimes to be moved through a few different positions in one half of football. You sometimes can't find your groove enough, and maybe it's a bit different as an attacker, but I know in midfield you kind of find your rhythm a little bit in that position you're playing.
We were talking about this yesterday during the Men's State Cup final with Matt Butner. He obviously plies his trade quite a bit as a defender, and he said as a defender it is hard though when you're looking up, and especially a team where you might be marking numbers, that you look up and all of a sudden the player that you were defending is now over the other side, and then you're just trying to ID and pick up the new player. There's a shot taken from range, but Haynes easily up to that. It can just be that moment of confusion that can cause a misstep sometimes, he said, as a defender. But again, if you start to adjust to it, I suppose, as you say, certain players are much stronger on a left or a right boot, so if you're crossing that ball in from width.
Yeah, I think if you're
Nickel coming into the box now. Opportunity. Will she take a shot? No, she pulls back. Gets inside Togo. Paragilli will need to be careful there. Simon clears it away, and it'll be a corner. Did try to convince the referee that it was a goal kick, Gemma, but I don't think he was ever having any of that.
Yeah, I think if you're constantly moving around, I think it maybe be harder for the attacker. But if it's a change every now and then, it might start to cause problems for the defender. But I think if you do it so often, it can nearly go the other way, and you might confuse both, and you may not get out of it what you need to.
And the other piece might be too, just making sure you're clear in who's controlling those switches too, right? Because otherwise you end up with two people in one channel and no one somewhere else where you need them. But here we see Howard again. This time she'll curl around on the left boot, across the face. Hits the boot, well cleared off the line, not completely dealt with though. House drops it back, Dag tries a shot. Comes back to Howard. That was wonderfully saved on the line. Last line defending by Azzurri. Howard beats one. Lucas comes again. Not a lot in it. It probably looked worse than it was, but a foul nonetheless. It was good last-ditch defending from Azzurri there. It looked almost a certain goal from the corner. Now Dag peels off. Howard into the box. Number of Azzurri players just holding out there. I'm not sure whether they're trying to... an offside trap or what it might have been, but all of a sudden Olympic players surging in and no one following. They get away with it though, Charlestown.
Yeah, that was interesting. They had two players unmarked, free chance, but obviously the ball didn't get to where it needed to. But I think Charlestown were not really set up for that.
Yeah, it just almost looks a little ball watch-ish. But at the end of the day, a bit like we were talking about those switches in players' cast, if it turns out well and you end up finding the goal to get the lead and not conceding, well, the ends justify the means a lot of the time. But if they ship a goal by standing there watching, I'm sure Heath White will be letting them know about it as this ball's prodded out nicely out in front of Howard. There's 5 teal jerseys. She's going to have to take a strike herself, and Bartel's looking into the sun, just parries it down.
That's that flick on again. First time ball with runners in behind. It's causing Charlestown some problems. Just on that one, Olympic couldn't get numbers in the box.
It's a wonderful touch from Dag. Evans coming a long way downfield, venturing forward. Now Williams. Gemma Simon. Hasn't had a lot of work today, Gemma. As of yet. The player, though, can certainly inject herself in and make a difference here. We've got a foul there after the pass. Gemma House just getting a little over-enthusiastic. Lofted in dangerously. Lucas is up for the challenge. Evans spills out the back and they clear it away. Bainsfair, it went to her left. She turned to the right, so it'll trickle all the way back now on a pass to Bartels. Ayres pushing forward, out wide, crosses it optimistically. I think it's going to beat everyone, including Sarah Knowles. It's going to race away and Sarah King will just push it across the line. That was Laura Hall, was it? That was Sarah King pushing across the line. Throw in deep in attacking territory. They haven't had a lot of time down this end, Azzurri. Can they conjure something here as we head towards half-time? Plenty of blue jerseys inside the 18-yard box as they try to work it forward. Hingston gets it off both shins going forward. Chipped into the box looking for Ayres. She sneaks in behind Nickel. Nickel comes again. Ayres tries the wrong footer. Can't quite. Does it on the second attempt. Pushes it looking for Knowles at the back post, but it beats everyone and it'll trickle away over the sideline. That's a little more promising from Azzurri.
Yeah, that was good play there by Mel. She's so good when the ball's at her feet and she's faking one way and going the other, and I feel like she could have been a bit selfish there and actually had a shot herself. She had a lot of power in that, so just have a hit.
Opportunity now, Azzurri to turn the screws. Simon, thought she was winding up for a shot from 40 then. I've seen it hit them from that range, so it wouldn't be completely outrageous. Tago Paragilli tracking back for Bartels to get the ball. She'll come out of a box and drive it long. Little bump there between Simon and Hall. Referee says play on. Lofted into the box, but no runners, and it'll go away over the byline. Haynes drives this low, flat, towards halfway, headed on by Hall. Spranger tries to shepherd it across the line. Gemma House tries to keep it in, doesn't do so. Pass coming through, not really finding a target. Hogg will send it back to Haynes. Haynes is going to try and play it out through Evans. She goes to Hogg again. Here's pressing, does well, shuts it down. Olympia going to have a throw deep in defensive territory. Sometimes those little efforts deep in the half that can be the difference here. Field almost completely covered in shadow, just a little bit of sun down the southeastern end now. I think the lights might need to come on soon, Cass, certainly in time for our second half. The temperature's dropping as well.
Yeah, getting cold, getting dark.
Might see the Elodie Dag gloves come back out in the second half.
Yeah, possibly. Bit of long sleeve, bit of gloves.
Tago Paragilli sends it all the way back to Bartels, who's out to the left of her 18-yard box. Drives it long, looking for a runner. Knowles is there, but not going to get to the ball before Haynes. Now it's just left in midfield. Catley pushes it forward. Williams tries to win out, but it spits out in favour of Olympic. Hingston certainly looks solid on starting debut. This ball in behind for Howard. It's a foot race. Howard gets there, but has to pull up. Chloe Martin does well. Elodie Dag takes a strike just over the crossbar. Bartels was off the line, and I know that you could tell she thought she was in a little trouble, but it was just off target. Doesn't take much encouragement or incitement to elicit a shot from Elodie Dag from that range.
No, it doesn't. We know she can score those goals, and you could just see the difference that Maddie Howard makes with her ability to beat people, and it was good defending there by Martin. And then Elodie close, ready for the seconds, and a good hit.
Bartels goes long, looking to get it to Ayres, doesn't get the distance. Evans with a header. Simon gets up, wins out the next contest. Chelsea Lucas going back. Dag is dispossessed by Ayres and goes across the sideline. Last touch off Dag. All tied up at 0-0. Almost through the regulation time here in the first half. Less than 2 minutes remain before we head to stoppages. Simon and Dag. There's that battle we've been trying to see eventuate. Prods it through, looking for Ayres. Manages to keep hold of it. Knowles into the box. Air swing for Lucas. It was a nice ball. Lucas and Simon just in awkward positions in the end. Lucas does well here to win out. Keeps the ball in. A lot of effort. Unfortunately, no reward though.
Yeah, good effort there by Chelsea Lucas. She's starting to step up and get on the ball and trying to do things alongside Mel. Girls just need the rest of the players to follow them, and there's a good run as well by Gemma Simon in that last play.
So then was she just sort of sliced through the midfield with a few Olympic players almost seem to be just watching. Makes it look very easy when she's got the ball at her feet and she's just travelling, and especially when she does it directly as well.
Yeah, she does.
Sometimes watch some of those runs with Gemma, and this goes back to even a time in the A-League, and you're almost wondering how, say, the ball pushed through looking for Maddie Howard. I think she's a step offside anyway. Evans heads that one long. You almost wonder how she slices through, how no one's gotten to her, and then when you actually break it down, there were players there. She's just beaten them, but makes it look easy, like she's just going for a little stroll.
Yep. Yeah, no, Gemma's a good player, and she's got good technique and good understanding of the game, and you can tell that when she plays it at at this level, she just looks like she's in cruise control. And
it does. She looks to get a touch there, but again, King just pushes it across the sideline. Not sure if we've got a fourth official, but I'm not sure if he's got the board to show us today what sort of added time we're going to have. Might be working a little bit of guesswork. There hasn't been a significant amount of stoppages as Bartels comes out, sends it back the other way. Hall heads it down. Simon chips it forward looking for Knowles. Doesn't get it directly, but ends up with it indirectly off the legs of King. Hingston. Now Hall sends it forward looking for Baines fair, but Togo Paragilli gets the jump on her and sends it away, and that answers that question. Very little stoppage time indeed at all. And the two sides absolutely cannot be separated. A good first half, but they are locked up at the break, and it's fair to say, Cass, we've got a real arm wrestle here between these two sides for a crucial 3 points.
Yeah, we do. As we said before, Chris, I think Newcastle Olympic started off strong, and Charlestown kind of grew into the game, and I think, both teams have had some good chances. So it's going to be a battle of who can take that first chance and get their team in the lead, and then you'll start to see
That's the feeling. Progress. Momentum. Getting somewhere. That's what it feels like when you bank with Newcastle Permanent. With local experts and award-winning customer service. We're here for you, and we're here for good. yeah, that's the feeling. Progress. Momentum. Getting somewhere. That's what it feels like when you bank with Newcastle Permanent. With local experts and award-winning customer service. We're here for you, and we're here for good.
Welcome back to Darling Street Oval for the second half of the round. 20 match of the round. Newcastle Olympic up against Charlestown Azzurri. All in the balance. 0-0 at the break. Just trying to work through. Looks like some changes. The Charlestown Azzurri, Kyra Dickey, Maddie Gallegos both on. Sarah Knowles looks to be one of the players who's come off. Just trying to identify who it is that's come off in the midfield for Dickey coming on. Chloe Catley, is it? No. Yep. We'll work it out in a moment. We haven't got a fourth officials board, so we're kind of flying by the seat of our pants, Cass Davis.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll get there, Chris.
Maddie Gallegos, a heavy sleeve on the left knee. We touched on that knee injury she's had going into the game. Gemma Simon gets a touch inside the 18-yard box, and probably not that surprising, that change of Gallegos on for Knowles, based on what you're saying at half-time. Cass, Heath White obviously identifying that they need to find some other sources to drive their attack forward.
Yeah, obviously Maddie's going to be a big addition to that, and bringing Sarah Knowles back to...
Gallegos takes a strike, parried away. Lucas was there at the back post.
Sarah Knowles back to left back. That's her suited position, so she'll probably find herself a bit more comfortable there.
She will actually, so that'll be Spranger that's gone off then, not Knowles. As we said, yeah, it looks like Dickey for Brianna Williams. Catley's still out there. Got there by process of elimination eventually.
Yeah, it's hard. I still am trying to know everyone's names as well. They all look the same when they're out on the field, and when you're versing them, you don't really take much notice.
Now, you can understand my fascination with, unique bits of attire, and, I do make light of it. I've done it a couple of times with Tara. She always has a bit of fun with me about, the likes of Elodie Dag and a couple of others that do wear gloves. You look at someone, or, Tanya Jones, who stands out with her, very bright red hair. Just those little identifying things that make it a little bit easier.
Definitely does, so I can understand. I might have to start getting some myself.
Get some players to just, maybe get some, even just coloured ribbons and stuff can help sometimes, but then you get to some games and everyone's got the same ribbons in their hair. I remember doing an emerging Jets game a couple of years ago, and there's like 5 players all had the same ribbon. I'm like, this is not helping. And knee sleeves. Maddie Gallegos is looking after us.
Yeah, a bit of knee strapping
She's one
as well.
that's usually reasonably easy to spot just with her build. Laura Hall's got the sleeves on out there now. Here's Elodie Dag pushing forward with acres of space in front. Prods it out. Bainsfair pushes it infield. Kira Bainsfair's done us a favour as well. She's got the Princess Leia hairdo going on. That makes it... We were only talking about this yesterday in the State Cup final with Alex Hilton and his M&M hairdo that he's got going at the moment, which was quite a talking point during the Australia Cup game the other day.
Yeah, there you go. It is easy for commentators when people do things to themselves. What would you like me to do, Chris?
Look, just anything, Cass. Maybe just, Golden Eagles, nice gold ribbon in the hair or something. I don't know.
All right, I'll see what I can do.
I think because I know you well enough, you're normally easy to spot. Tara's very easy to spot at the front. As you say, I've got the benefit too. I get to do this every week. You're doing it some weeks, so I'm sure if you're calling your own team, you'd probably be pretty good at it. But
I hope so.
As we talk about sometimes, there's some players certainly from a distance, especially when you get siblings and things out there, as you've got some in your team. Libby and Rosie from a distance can be a challenge.
Yeah, I'd say they would be.
Gallegos. I think she might have forgotten what coach was playing there. She looked like she was going for an AFL mark for a moment. All cleared away. Ira Dickey very vocal towards referee there. Assistant referee insisting it was her throw. Nice throw there from Knowles. Lena Ayres with good close quarters control, but couldn't get it out in front of Catley. And Azzurri have certainly come out with a bit more of a spring in their step. Hunter drives his forward. And they swing it all the way back to Bartels, who'll assess and peruse the situation for driving forward. Looking for Catley, but falls to Togo Paragilli. Howard now, can she find a teammate? A little heavy for Bainsfair. You can see what she was trying to do there. I feel like she hadn't got it out in front. That might have been the best opportunity we've seen yet today.
Yeah, I feel like she should have just pulled the trigger there and had to go herself. She's got a good left foot and can hit them from range, so be a bit selfish there and have a hit.
Azzurri take this downfield now, throw just shy of halfway. Here's presenting, and she's done all day. Evans gets ahead to it though. In comes Lucas there on the turn. Dan gets a boot in, rolling it back. Nickel pushes it forward and possession exchange back and forth. Lucas comes away, or a Hall breaks it up. Dickey happy to sit it back into defence. Now they drive forward, looking for an option, but there's a wall of blue back there, and Evans thinks about going back to Denali Haynes, decides better of it. Hall under pressure from Gemma Simon. Simon gets the last touch before it goes across the sideline. This is some good service in the commentary box, isn't it? And your hot chocolate brought to you?
Oh, it's a bit cold, Chris.
Oh, feedback. No tips for the wait staff here.
You want one too?
Now that Zana sat back down, I won't go sending her back to the canteen now.
I'd love the snack pack that everyone keeps walking out with.
Tell you what, the food here at Olympic is top notch. I get a little bit disappointed sometimes when it's a 4 o'clock kickoff because it's right in between lunch and dinner. So
yeah,
if I go home and I don't eat dinner, Michael's kid, I'll get in trouble. My wife will go to the
got to eat dinner as well.
Yeah, trust me, I don't need any help eating extra meals at the moment. Old Billy Coffey at Pinpoint Athlete will be whipping me into shape and yelling at me in the morning if he knows I've had extra meals, and I don't need any more extra yelling at the gym. Just waiting for Bartels to drive it forward. I thought it would have been the other way around at the moment. After Zana brought up her milestone game yesterday, that you would have been, spoiling her, bringing her service. What's going on?
Well, scored a goal for a milestone game, so that's enough.
That was nice. It's been a bit of a run of milestones lately at your club. Lauren Allen as well, the week before, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of that year that we all came over to Newhampton. I think Amy Gosling's probably close, but had missed a few games with injury. I think, maybe I'm somewhere.
How many would you be up to total? Have you got any idea?
Well, they tried to look it up, and Northern didn't have the records.
Records don't get back that far.
They didn't go back that far, so I think I played in 2013 for Lakes.
Yeah.
Then I played in 2014 for Valentine. Yep. 2015 for Warners Bay for 5 seasons.
So have you missed a year in any
I
of these?
went and played in Sydney in 2020.
For the COVID year. So Bainsfair takes a very optimistic strike from range. So that, by my maths, means, what did you say, 13 you started?
2013, yeah.
So this would be your 11th season here, 12th season here? 12th season
12th, yeah. Because I'm 13 at the Jets and 1 year was Manly, so...
Yeah. So, that's... Start averaging it out. Throw that alongside 160 games for the Jets and probably got 300 odds there or thereabouts between the two.
Yeah, I'd probably be able to...
And more if they let you play them at the stand-down window each year.
Well, yeah, that when it came in, all of a sudden it just popped up a few years back, and then probably missed, I reckon, like 6 games from that window, and then it's now starting to get to more like 10 games because this comp starts so early. Yep. And now the A-League season runs to May if you make finals, so yeah, I'm not getting many games in now.
So seeing the Jets back there after this season.
Yeah, that's right.
New coach, lots of new things happening. I saw a new goalkeeper signed this week as well. Very excited seeing, get the name wrong, Anna league. That's it.
Yeah. Obviously, get these players come in and you've kind of got no idea who they are and how good they are, and it's always exciting to meet them all when they arrive. And we've only got a short pre-season, so you kind of got to get to know everyone as quick as possible.
When does pre-season start?
I think around mid-September. So
pretty much straight in. Well, I was going to say that you got that first game on the 20-something of September, so I hope 20th. It's before that. Otherwise,
yeah, well,
probably going to have a weekend before that, I guess.
It's probably going to be our first hit out that game, I'd say. But yeah, hoping that we can, just keep our fitness up, and this comp obviously goes towards September. I think the grand final's the 6th, so fingers crossed we're in the grand final and playing up until pre-season.
You just have a week off and get into pre-season, and then. Yeah, as we said, we'll wait and see what the Northern New South Wales select is. How would you go if you had to play against Zana?
Fine.
I think I'd pay to watch that. I like how you're just saying this when she's got absolutely no right of response, just sitting in front of you listening to this. After she brought you a hot chocolate too.
She'll be right.
Well, if the Northern New South Wales selectors are listening, Zana looks like she's very keen for this clash. It'd be interesting, as I think we touched on this the other way, it'd be interesting for a few of the girls who are, there's a couple of us in your side, but a few of you who are in the Jets squad again who are playing in the NPL, because you get to come up against some teammates. Potentially the shot from range hits the crossbar again. That crossbar at the northern end is getting kept very busy here at Darling Street.
It has a good hit by Mel, very, very good, and you can see the game starting to get a bit more energy, especially when you bring Maddie Gallegos on, who's got that feisty nature in her. It's starting to get quite physical, and crowd's getting louder, and it's starting to get a bit more exciting now.
As we said, it is quite a significant game for these two sides, despite there being a couple of rounds to go. If Charlestown only take a point from this, they'll fall behind in the race for the premiership as Lagos is hit there.
Yeah, Gemma House, it's probably her third foul now, so she better be careful. Ref will be looking at those things and starting to give out the cards.
Lagos was giving some feedback to the Darling Street Oval crowd here, and it was interesting just before when you said about it being feisty that her and Gemma had sort of nudged backwards into her, and Maddie gave her a bit of a shove. So they're two players who won't take a backward step, the two of those.
No, not at all.
They come together there. This is dangerously into the box off the back of the head of Evans. I don't think she quite knew how she did it, but she'll be happy enough that she cleared it well away. Now it spills wide to Togo Paragili. Thought she's going to wind up for a strike. She burns to the outside, up against her opposite number, crosses it into the box, looking for Gallegos, who heads it wide of the target. Denali Haynes looked like she was stuck in the mud a little there on the goal line.
Yeah, good little passage there by Charlestown. Couple of good deliveries and a very close shot by Maddie Gallegos. Charlestown are starting to push.
Really feels, as I said just before, they look like they've come out with a bit more of a spring in their step, and they're grabbing the ascendancy now, and you can attribute a bit of that to the fact that the defenders are having to work overtime now with Gallegos and Ayres out there, and as you see there, Gemma Simon started to make some more forward runs as well. Starting to create some opportunities as Hunter drives forward, turns it over though, and might leave them short for numbers here as Howard racing along, gets it out in front looking for Bainsfair, but it was heavy, but you feel Kira Bainsfair just might have pulled up a little early there rather than putting the pressure on Bartels.
Yeah, possibly a little bit. She's got the pace, so use it, keep going.
It's a funny thing, pressure, isn't it? It doesn't even need to necessarily be right on top of someone. It can just force that misstep, a fumble, and who knows what happens. But we've certainly got a lively game on our hands here. As I was saying just before, this game has so much significance if Azzurri are to drop any points, but certainly if they were to take no points from this, it gives the ascendancy to Maitland, who got the bye this weekend, and take on Olympic next week. But the points for Olympic as well, if they were to take 3 points, I think the gap between yourselves and Olympic at the moment might be 5 as we stand live on the ladder.
Yeah.
So that'll bring it back to 2, which would really liven up the 3rd versus 4th battle.
Yeah, it's all, still quite close. And
Ayres thinks about a strike, feeds it into the box here. Denali Haynes races out. half fumble, but manages to clean up, and Chloe Catley got a little bit excited there for a split second on that first fumble. Lagos with a header back for Noel, plays it out in front. Lagos will try to cross it into the box. Headed, volleyed, wide of the target. Melina Ayres throws a head back in frustration.
You can see Gemma Simon, as you said before, pushing on. She's playing a bit more of a attacking midfielder role now, and they've made some subs at half time and got her up the pitch, which is starting to create a little bit more for Charlestown now.
Livening up. Haynes just deciding where the goal kick will be, and she's going to send the team long and left. Just over 15 minutes gone in this second half. Still no score here at Darling Street Oval in the match of the round. A bit of confusion here. Olympic just working out who's going forward and who's taking on the ball. Communication is key at the moment for them. Hunter tracking back. Bainsfair putting the pressure on and just forces it to go laterally and across the sideline. All of a sudden, Olympic now a chance in the attacking third. Going backwards with the throw. Take it short. Close quarters now. Offside flag goes up though. Against Dag. Olympic had that little bit more fluency in the first half. They're looking a little bit more rushed, a little disjointed at the moment. They need to, I'm sure what the key might be, but Craig Atkins would love to see them back to that rhythm they had in the first half, I'm sure.
Yeah, you can tell there's been a bit of a change. Maybe it just comes down to a bit of mentality and a bit of energy. They were making a lot of forward runs in the first half, but we're not really seeing that in the second half, which is starting to hurt them going forward.
Certainly is. Pass misdirected. They're looking for King, and Gallegos does well to break it up. Ball pushed forward. Intended for Gallegos, but a little too centred. Now this time, Howard coming across. Almost had the ball fall favourably, but the last deflection took it away from her. Now they go down the line. Knowles with a little chip on. Headed away by Jess Evans over the sideline, and it'll be a throw-in. Looking for Gemma Simon, and Evans is there again. Just happy to play it safe across the line. Gallegos will take the throw. Looks to go long for Catley. Dag takes it away. Hall. Dickey chips it into the 18-yard box. It beats the efforts of Hogg, but Nickel will drive it wide and across the sideline for a throw-in on the eastern touchline. Lucas fighting tooth and nail with Nickel. Now Simon trying to find an avenue to goal. Takes a strike just wide. It wasn't far away. And that just shows why you cannot give the former Matilda too much space. She will take a strike from range and certainly has the propensity and the ability to score from there.
Yeah, she does. Great shot there by Gemma, and the work of Chelsea Lucas. She's really good at taking that touch past that defender and keeping up with it. She's got that pace, and she's able to create a bit of an overload where she got the ball to Gemma, and Gemma did well with that shot. She'll be a bit annoyed that it didn't hit the target.
Certainly would have loved to have it again. It wasn't far away. Nice work there, Emily Hingston. We haven't seen much of her in this second half. She had a really solid first half for Olympic. Touched on it before, Cass, on starting debut. Not an easy side to come up against on your starting debut in the midfield here with some of the players that they've got, Azzurri, but she's more than handled the occasion.
Yeah, she has. Probably been a little bit quiet this half, but so is the rest of her teammates. But yeah, coming up into the midfield against the quality of players that Charlestown have and the physicality that they bring. It's always going to be a tough ask, but use it as motivation to have your starting debut in first grade and just do your best. That's all they can ask.
She's managed to get a goal to her name already this year. She's only 18, so plenty of career in front of her. Throw coming from Nickel. Lofted forward. Martin surging after it. Nickel comes back and tracks back and takes it. A risky pass. Just tempting airs there. He got away with it. Haynes now absolutely hammers that. King's going to have to track back to get it. Spills out off the legs of Gallegos. House and Knowles going toe-to-toe. House gets the boot to it. Inkson just holds back off that as Togo Paragilli takes it. King plays it out in front now. Lofted forward. Matty Howard was about to go on a run. That was a key defensive interception from Hunter. This time Howard back to goal. Didn't have the turn. Taken away though. Good. That's a very clumsy challenge from Togo Paragilli. Referee's not going to go to his pocket. I thought he might have gone for the yellow card there. Matty Howard now. That lethal left boot you talked about before will be over the dead ball.
I'll be having a crack if I was having a left foot like she does. May as well go for it. Just get your players running in for the seconds.
That's exactly what she's going to do. She strikes for it. Is it a little high? No. Yes, it is just over the crossbar. I tell you what, it wasn't far away from distance.
Didn't look like that from here. Thought it was going in.
I thought it was going in at first. I thought, off the boot, I thought she'd absolutely overcooked it. And then it started to dip, and I thought, oh, dear me, Danny Bartels is in trouble. She calmly watched it away, just over and just wide. As you said, if you've got a left boot that can hit it like that with that much power from that range, why wouldn't you have a shot, though?
That's all right. Got nothing to lose.
Take a piece of magic like that to break this deadlock at the moment, I think. It's going to be some individual brilliance. There's certainly plenty of players capable on both sides. The likes of Howard and House on one side, Simon, Ayres, Gallegos on the other, just to name a few.
It's going to be interesting to see the substitutions come on for both teams and who's going to come on and change this game. We've obviously seen the changes that Charlestown have brought on, which has definitely helped them in their attack. It'll be interesting to see what Newcastle Olympic do with their substitutions.
It's going to be key for Craig Atkins as this ball goes forward. Does the flag stay down? No, it doesn't. House. So she was either very quick off the mark then or a good yard offside. It'll be interesting how Craig Atkins, he says, deploys his subs. He's got some Keela Baldry on the bench who has started up in that front third for them a number of times this year. Montana Quick in the midfield as well as some options. And then on the other side, obviously by making those two changes at half time, Heath White means that he's got rotations to play with and the defence break this up, and he's got someone there who certainly knows their way to goal in Sienna Fraser-Kelly, who's a key piece for them in their State Cup run to the final and the shared title after that injury to Jana Fraser.
Yeah, I always find it interesting if these substitutions play reserve grade as well, because I know even with our club we're quite short on numbers and all of our subs mainly are 90-minute players already. So yeah, we try and have 1 to 2 fresh, but you don't always get that luxury at this time of the year. So it'd be interesting to see what what subs have actually played minutes already, and it's always tough when you've played a 90-minute game in reserve grade and then you've got to come on in a first grade competition where the speed of the game's higher and the physicality's, you know, more than reserve grade, and try and do your best for the team.
Pretty confident saying the 3 subs that remain on Charlestown bench all played a full 90 minutes in their game here that they won 1-0 in reserve grade. So that includes Charlize White, Sienna Fraser-Kelly and Marley Blanche, who, let's be honest, I'd be surprised if outside of something abnormal happening, Marley Blanche gets called upon as the backup goalkeeper.
Yeah, you might not see Charlestown make any more subs, and they'll be playing this game, obviously, to keep those points up and close to Maitland. So, yeah, it seems like they've made their key subs, and now they might only use those players if they need to for injury.
Interesting to see, as we said. And then Craig Atkins does with his lineup as well. Baldry also played a full 90, and as did Ava McGann. So the majority of their subs are all played a full 90, so certainly some thoughts to ponder as to where they can find the spark. Azzurri see off another raid here, and they clear it long towards halfway over the sideline as the sun is all but completely set behind us. Just the last little bits of light setting back over the mountains west of Hamilton here. Chipped into the box here. Howard with a chance, but the flag goes up again. Bartels parried the shot anyway. It looks like they're being really effective, Olympic, in just finding that gap in between the 2 defenders and making that run. It's just about timing that run and not getting the jump, I think.
Yeah, I don't know how Mandy Howard got so free there. Charlestown lucky that she was offside, because otherwise they weren't really, don't even know if they noticed she was in that much space, and you can't be given a striker that much space when you've got 2 central defenders against 1.
Olympic do manage to take points away from this as Maddie Gallegos has to make a turn away onto that left knee, and now she's going to try and use that acceleration against Sarah King. King just trying to block the lane and force Gallegos to make a decision. Gets a boot in and pushes it across the sideline. Sending it. Knowles back up to where it went out. As I was saying, Olympic could make it 5 weeks without loss if they can take points away here. Nice touch there by Dickey. Knowles crosses it to the back of the 18-yard box, headed on by Ayres. Lucas was on the advance and has to retreat now to try and retrieve it. Loses a footing as she passes it. And Martin tries to cross it into the box, but Hall's there. Gets it away just before Ayres closes in on her. Maddie Howard up against Togo Paragilli. Nice little back heel, beats 2 defenders. Nice work there. Hall chips it forward. Dag on the run. Bartels is racing out of a box and beats it to it. And to make a decision there, the goalkeeper, and she made the right one in the end.
Yeah, that was smart play there by Charlestown's goalkeeper, sweeping the line and clearing that straight to her player.
Now lofted forward, looking for Howard again. She's managed to get in between. Chips the keeper in for Maddie Howard. She's had a couple of opportunities this time. She stays onside. And a beautifully weighted ball. Danny Bartels off the line to open the scoring.
Yeah, that nice quick ball again. Maddie getting in between the centre backs. Gemma House recognised. First time ball straight to Maddie, and nice finish. I think Maddie deserves that goal. She's had a good game today. I think she's been one of Olympics' best players, and as we said, we haven't seen her in a while, and it's good to see her back and obviously playing some good football.
She certainly looked dangerous when she's been in the lineup. A lot of the time has been off the bench this year, but great to see her back starting. And you know, we only talked about on their last attacking raid that if they keep allowing her to get into that gap between the 2 centre backs, that she's going to make them pay, and sure enough, she did. And salt to the wounds, Danny Bartels was off the line and just so well weighted. And she made it look easy, but again, not always that easy to do. Melina Ayres loses out in the battle with Evans there. But yeah, it's not easy to weight that there when you're advancing forward at a rate of knots as well, and just get that weight right, not overcook it.
Yeah, it was perfect. Hit the right part of the goal, and yeah, good technique.
Nothing Danny Bartels could do, and Olympic now hold the advantage. Azzurri need to find a goal. House there driving it back, intercepting that pass.
We said once there's a goal, Chris, you'll start to see the game open up a bit more now, and we might start to see 2, 3 goals. You always start to change things a little bit once you concede or once you do score.
Yeah, we only have 15 minutes of regulation time remaining, and the interesting thing's going to be, as you say, like Charlestown, they'll want the 3 points here because they know what it means in terms of that race for the premiership. No points is a blow. 1 point would be acceptable probably if you're Heath White, but then again, Maitland have to take on Olympic next week as well. 2 weeks' time, next round, I should say. That catch-up weekend that's not needed is keeping throwing me off. Again, that will be here at Darling Street next Sunday, so... Charlestown will take on Adamstown in a rare game at Adamstown Oval for the Rosebuds this year. They've been playing a lot of their games at Lake Macquarie under lights. Just putting the ball back there, trying to keep things moving along. Georgia Hogg with a little bit of gamesmanship there, just rolling it forward a little bit. Trying to say that Melina Ayres is too close to it. Referee just says move it along. It's going to be interesting here. There's so much time left still. 15 minutes doesn't sound like a lot, but Olympic need to be careful not to get drawn into just resting on the laurels of a 1-goal lead here, because if any side can score quickly and start to put a couple of goals back to back, it is Charlestown. Yeah,
you got to be careful once you go up 1 goal that you don't sit too much and invite the pressure. You still got to keep playing the way that you've been playing. You might tighten things up a little bit, be a bit smarter, but you still got to keep going for it.
See what they do here. Bainsfair pushing forward, cuts inside, nice footwork, plays it into the box. Gemma House, tightly marked, gets free. Racing forward, Nickel takes a strike. It's going to be wide though. And certainly not resting on their laurels based on that. I think young Emily Hinkson might have had a better opportunity at that, but Danielle Nickel called her away as she was streaming forward. Some numbers charging towards the ball there. Referee's found a foul in it. Maddie Gallegos a little too keen to get moving, didn't wait for the ball to be stationary.
It's always one of those things, you feel like you can just play it straight away, but you kind of forget that the ball's got to be stopped. And now it slows it down and they get set up and get numbers back behind the ball.
A bit of over-enthusiasm. Togo Paragilli delivers it. Beats the leap of the first 2 players and driven wide, and Noel's happy to watch it across the line. Goes to the experience of Simon. Speaking of experience, Simon up against Hall. Maddie Howard drives that into the car park, almost out the main gate here at Darling Street. Knowles with the throw again. Simon again positioning herself in front, using body position. Hall gets a boot around. Dickey gets to it. Can't control. Ends up taking on the second touch. Plays it back. Catley going all the way back now. So Hunter who chips it forward. Simon battling. Ayres will take a strike here. Parried away by Haynes. I'd love to have taken the snare there, but just got it down and parried it forwards. Cleared it away for the moment. Brett not completely past though for Olympic. Azzurri continuing to push. Martin plays it wide. Lucas. Is it into the box? Little touch. King clears it away. Heart of the mouth moment for Craig Atkins there, Cass.
Yeah, you can feel it, Chris. It's two decent chances there. You can feel the pressure. You can feel it from up here.
Melina Ayres again. Dragged to ground. And Gemma House tangled. A few words exchanged. Referee happy to play it on though. Tago Paragilli clubs it forward. Dickey now on the ball. Slices it off the outside of the right. Comes again. Hingston lost sight of the ball. And they continue to push. Gallegos sandwich between a couple of players. Simon comes away with the ball. Georgia Hogg throws herself into the battle. Shot taken from outside the box. Not dealt with yet. Hall can't quite clear it. Hingston now. There we go. Down towards halfway and it turns back to Azzurri. Tago Paragilli. They're pushing numbers forward and they're charging. Mel Ayres takes a strike from range over the crossbar. Not quite on target, but she's going to be at that point now that she'll back herself, and if she gets enough looks from that sort of range, she will get one of them to stick shortly.
Yeah, she will. As we said, you can't give her that much time. She's had enough chances today that I think the next one's probably going to be in the back of the net, and you can tell she's a bit fired up there, Mel, and when she's fired up, she gets really passionate and competitive, and she uses that in her game and often scores and then rubs it into her run. So she's a good player to have on your team.
Certainly it would be. Tago Paragilli plays it forward. Howard, House. Evans misses that. Lucas, heavy touch. Cleared away by Hogg. Still Jersey surging forward. Gallegos throwing it, looking for Simon. Hall comes away with it. It's a little touch and deflection. Tago Paragilli prods it forward. Maddie Howard charging. Comes flying in and gets up. And not a lot of contact, but they've both come off a little worse for wear. I think she might have just clipped the outside of the knee of Dickey. She's going to get a yellow card for that.
Well, there's been a lot of fouls. I think there's probably a yellow should have been given in the first half. So, yeah, Maddie Howard's probably just got the end of that from the referee.
Straw that broke the camel's back, you think?
Yeah, yep.
Maybe the referee. There's been a few more, and it's been getting a little bit more willing in the last couple of minutes, and maybe that's just an attempt just to try and cool the jets of a few players from both sides, because we know there's a couple who certainly will wear their heart on their sleeve. We saw Maddie Gallegos and Gemma House come together before. We saw Gemma House and Melina Ayres come together not long ago. So now this one driven into the box, pushed away by Dag. It was going to be an attempted shot, but it was just driven along the carpet. Now Olympic push it long. Sent high into the night sky here in Hamilton. Inside the last 8 or so minutes of regulation time. A player down on the ground after that collision. That was silly from Calista Hunter. I can see why she did it, but Emily Hingston wins out.
Yeah, that was good there by Emily.
Gemma House appealing for a yellow card. Just to be careful that her feedback doesn't get her one. Might be the captain, but you still need to be cautious in how you go about having those conversations. Referees will want to go to their pocket, especially when things are emotionally charged, you think. Misconceive the feedback. Here's House now. Gallegos. Gemma House continuing to have a conversation with Maddie Gallegos. The crowd here at Darling Street wanting to see a yellow card for Azzurri.
Oh, not a yellow card worthy. She just tripped on a, looks like kind of in oasis it looked like.
So I think that's just the one-eyed nature of football fans, Cass.
Yeah.
Time ticking down. Azzurri know they need to strike soon. Olympic would love to ice it here. Howard found a runner there, but just couldn't control it. The captain in house. Interesting now that those wide attacking players in Howard and House are dropping deeper around their midfield as Ayres streaks forward. She's got Simon with her, Gallegos as well, but Jess Evans is there again. Maddie Howard pushes it out in front. I don't think that's necessarily what she was looking for, but she's found a wide-ranging Gemma House Bainsfair's inside the 6-yard box. Chloe Martin does well to dispossess her opposite number and then wins out, getting the ball out in front. Dag now pushing forward, crossed it into the box. Maddie Howard looking for a mistake. Collision between Hall and the keeper. The referee's just going to pull things up with the ball sitting loose on the ground. Both of them came in contesting the ball. The trainers will be called onto the field. It was a reasonable collision.
It was kind of interesting there that the ref didn't blow the whistle and the goalkeeper dropped the ball. Probably would have got up and had a kick.
Yeah, you might have done. I don't know that Laura Hall had it in her at the time. It was a fair collision, and probably fortunate for the referee there was no one else around there, because it certainly would have been some fairly irate Azzurri coaching staff and players had that been prodded into the net and all of a sudden been 2-0 after a collision with the goalkeeper. They would have been appealing for it, but obviously the referee thought there wasn't too much in it. So Laura Hall's already off to the sideline. Penny Bartel's getting some treatment. A little bit of strapping around the knee. Penny Bartel's. I'm going to see a change here for Azzurri. And Fraser Kelly will come on. And they're pushing attacking numbers. Chloe Catley comes off. Fraser Kelly's certainly no stranger to the score sheet. So won't be backwards in coming forwards in contact and in encounters with the opposition.
Yeah, well, hats off to her. She's already played 90 and she's got to come on now and try and win the game. So, or get to an equaliser, I should say. It's a tough ask.
I'm sure she'd be happy to get 2 and win the game, Cass.
Well, yeah, she would be.
Still time.
Still possible.
Funny old sport. We'll wait and see, though. Olympic trying to tighten their screws. Still none of their substitutes really warming up. I think he suggested before that Craig Atkins might not go to his bench, and with a 1-0 lead and his defence performing well, Jess Evans and Georgia Hogg anchoring things as here's Hogg on the ball now. Pushes it forward for Howard. Tries to prod it in for King. Then it comes forward to a wide-ranging Melina Ayres. She plays it through for Chelsea Lucas. Lucas under pressure from Evans.
Calling everything now,
referee. Yeah, I think the referee's very much trying to ensure that nothing escalates here, because, as I said, there's certainly a few tappers. A shot taken, is it? No, Fraser Kelly thought about winding up, but it's been cleared away. Maddie Gallegos asking for a penalty. Just after he must have heard you say he's calling everything, and now
it's the one that referees don't call often.
Yeah. Anyway,
was it a handball?
I think that's what she was appealing for, but whether it was or not, he was a lot closer than us. Tago Paragilli wastes no time here. It's spewed away. Ayres is going to wind up, drive it along the ground. Prodded forward by Laura Hall. Kira Bainsfair's out there. Maddie Howard's putting on the afterburners here going forward. Kira Bainsfair's just going to play it forward for herself, down the line. Must have just beaten her across the sideline there. I thought that Chloe Martin had just tapped it over the line. That's the soccer equivalent of a chip and chase, that one. Just play it down the line for yourself when everyone else is clearly running out of gas. The fuel tanks are low for both sides here. Azzurri needing to find a quick response. We talked about it in the intro. Charlestown Azzurri coming into this fixture. Between first grade and reserve grade, these teams have clashed 5 times, including today. Azzurri had taken 15 points from those 5 clashes. So, if Olympic do take this one, might not quite be the biggest upset of the season, but it'll be right up there. Melina Ayres pushing forward, plays it out in front for a streaking Maddie Gallegos. Ayres cutting back into the box. That's where they're looking. Overcooks it. The referee points to the spot. Didn't seem like a lot in it, and I feel like Emily Hingston might be a little hard done by there. The youngster looked shoulder to shoulder with the referee right on the spot and points to the penalty spot. And Azzurri, and undoubtedly it would be Melina Ayres, Sienna Fraser-Kelly tried to pick that up and head towards the penalty spot, and Melina Ayres was having absolutely none of that. Ayres was given the penalty. Oh, the Azzurri faithful inside here at Darling Street. Crowd around the TV to have a look at the replay. Again, the referee in much better proximity than us, but from this distance. Looked hard on the youngster in Hingston, but now Melina Ayres up against Janali Haynes. Ayres takes her time, strikes it to the right. Haynes dives the right way, but it gets past her outstretched left hand. All level at 1-1. And this is going to come down to a late run from either side. Almost at the end of regulation time. Tied up at 1-1 as the 90th minute all but hits. We'll be into stoppage time here. And the referee's discretion. And Cass, you have to feel for Newcastle Olympic. They've done so well for 89 minutes.
Yeah, I think we might have jinxed it with the referee, Chris. He was starting to call a lot of things and didn't call the whatever handball, whatever was before, and then decided to call that one. So you'd be pretty frustrated being Newcastle Olympic to hold a team like Azzurri out for 89 minutes and give away I would say a bit of a soft penalty. You're going to be very disappointed, and it seems like there's going to be a bit of extra time too, so I don't think it's over yet.
No, certainly not. Still time for a twist in the tail, and you just hope that a youngster like Emily Hingston doesn't wear that one too heavily, because as you say, it wasn't clear cut. Certainly may have been a penalty. Melina Ayres races forward here. She's going to look for a second. Not a lot of support, waiting for it to arrive. Sienna Fraser-Kelly's there. Jess Evans gets a boot in and does well to dispossess Ayres. They loft it forward. Togo Paragilli gets there. Howard tries to bring it to ground. Togo Paragilli turning around. Howard fighting tooth and nail for it. She's got options. Can't find Gemma House though. Kyra Dickey back there. As is Callista Hunter. Challenge and the ball spits out. Lottie Dag brings it down. Dispossessed, but Gemma Simon. I didn't see much there at all, but the referee found something, and again, he's right on top of it. Can Olympic find the last salvo? Some Olympic fans would say it might be a little bit of justice. Charlestown fans might feel hard done by. We'll wait and see. Not quite sure what's going on here. The ball's got a mind of its own. It's rolling away in the breeze. Driven forward. Not completely cleared. Hall's there with it. Mr. Hunter collects Laura Hall, and this is a dangerous space here. Is it going to be the left boot of Maddie Howard, would you think?
Yeah, I'd say so. Got to put Maddie Howard on these with a bit of a wind out there. I feel like it's probably going the opposite way, though. I'm just going to have to hit this pretty well to win it for Olympic.
Two handy takers there. Certainly think that Howard the stronger. Dag, no mug though, and that's meaning that Danny Bartels is having to set almost two options here, and she curls it towards that top corner, but well away. Try to set it up there and bring it back with the curl. It just didn't turn. Cannot be too long left now. Atkins just asking the question of the fourth official.
What's a draw going to do for this minor premiership, Chris?
Well, it all depends on next round, doesn't it? I mean, if Olympic put in a showing like this against Maitland, they could really just keep playing spoiler. And I'll tell you what, if I'm Olympic and Craig Atkins, I'm taking a lot of positivity out of this heading towards the finals. And Olympic, the big positive for them is, people talk about playing challenging football and, getting you finals ready. They've got that run. They've got Azzurri here. They play all three of the top four sides over the final three rounds.
Yeah.
Whereas sides like yourselves, I think you've got Magic next round, who obviously are consigned to last place, and Charlestown play Adamstown next week, so it's a bit of a mixed bag.
Yeah, sometimes I think it's good going into the finals playing against the top teams. And as you said, Craig would be very happy with his side's performance today.
I'm sure behind closed doors, if this remains 1-1, Craig Atkins will be talking about, a bit like the English cricket team, a moral victory. And you could certainly understand that with some of his youngsters out there. But yeah, certainly it'll mean that at the close of this round, that Charlestown would sit 2 points behind Maitland, so very much depending on the two results next week as Gemma Simon gets loose here. Slid in a little aggressively there. Lucky she didn't collect Jess Evans. And that is full time here at Darling Street. And it's all square and maybe a fair result. Olympic will certainly take some positives, but they'll feel like it might have been 3 points that got away cards.
Oh, it's a tough one. I think the way that Charlestown scored their goal would be disappointing for Olympic. But I also feel like on the other end, Charlestown would probably say that they deserve to score in open play. So I really think a draw is probably a fair result given the chances that both teams had. I think Olympic overall, they'd be impressed with the progress that their team's made, and that performance is much better than they have been performing lately. And for Charlestown, losing a couple of key plays is always tough. So to play for those girls and also other girls getting some minutes now, it's sometimes it can take a bit of time for them to get their rhythm again. But, overall, I think, a draw is probably a fair result.
Yeah, I certainly think Craig Atkins will take some positives from it as they build into their next couple of games. As I said, they've got Maitland in the next round. A good opportunity for everyone to reset, though, with the weekend off. And Heath White undoubtedly will be hoping to get some health back into his squad with a few of the knocks and niggles that they've got. But we now head to the last two rounds of the season and the run home. Looking forward to what that all brings. And, of course, you can catch all of the men's and women's NPL first and reserve grade games live and free on the Northern New South Wales Football YouTube channel for the remainder of the season and all through the final series. Cass Davis, a big thank you to you again for your insights today, and we wish everyone a good evening.